let's be honest, sometimes it feels like we're still living in the philosophical equivalent of the Stone Age. I mean, have you the comments section on YouTube lately? It's basically just Plato's Republic being debated by people who think epistemology is a type of skin rash. But hey, turns out some of those dusty old ideas from the past actually managed to stick around and shape the world we live in today. From the profound to the revolutionary, this video is going to count down 7 ideas that took our world, flipped it on its head, and honestly, left it a little bit, well, you decide. Get ready for a wild ride through the annals of philosophy, science, and technology. And no, I swear that's not a euphemism for something untoward happening in a library basement. We're talking big hitters here, folks. The kind of ideas that make you sit back, scratch your head, and wonder how we ever lived without them. Buckle up because we're diving headfirst into the deep end of human ingenuity. First up, we've got the internet, the ultimate double-edged sword of the modern age. On one hand, it's a boundless playground of information, connection, and cat videos. On the other hand, it's also a breeding ground for misinformation, cyberbullying, and, well, even more cat videos. Seriously, it's like humanity was handed the keys to the world's biggest library, and the first thing we did was build a bunch of digital laser pointers and started shining them at each other's faces. Next up, let's talk about Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, which frankly is still messing with my head. I mean, the idea that time is relative, that it can speed up or slow down depending on how fast you're moving, it's enough to give anyone an existential crisis. And don't even get me started on Ecalc-MC2. I mean, I get it. Energy and mass are interchangeable, but honestly, it just makes me feel like my physics teacher was holding out on me all those years ago. Ah, the Industrial Revolution, that wonderful time when we figured out how to harness the power of machines and mass production. Of course, it also ushered in an era of unprecedented pollution, social upheaval, and questionable fashion choices. But hey, progress is messy, right? The real question is, would we have all those cool gadgets and gizmos we rely on today without it? Probably not. Would we also have crippling climate change and income inequality? Well, that's a conversation for another time. Let's hear it for Johannes Gutenberg, the OG of mass media. Before the printing press, books were about as common as a sober night out in Las Vegas. Knowledge was literally a luxury item, handcrafted by monks with impeccable penmanship and an alarming lack of social lives. But thanks to Gutenberg's invention, information could suddenly be spread faster than a bad case of the Black Plague. Sure, it also led to the rise of tabloid journalism and those annoying flyers people stick on your car windshield, but hey, every rose has its thorns, right? Democracy, that beautiful, messy, and often infuriating system of government, where everyone gets a voice, even if that voice is yelling about conspiracy theories on Twitter. It's imperfect, sure, but when compared to the alternatives, well, let's just say it could be a lot worse. From ancient Greece to modern-day elections, the idea that power should reside with the people has been a driving force in shaping societies for centuries. Of course, it's also led to some pretty spectacular political train wrecks. But hey, who doesn't love a good dumpster fire every now and then? Speaking of things that have shaped our world, let's give it up for the scientific method. This systematic approach to understanding the world around us has led to countless breakthroughs, from vaccines to space exploration. Of course, it's also given us some pretty questionable experiments along the way. I mean, for every penicillin, there's a study out there trying to figure out if listening to Mozart makes you smarter, or if staring at goats cures hiccups. And last but not least, we have the Socratic method, that ancient Greek tradition of asking annoying questions until you either arrive at the truth or drive everyone around you to madness. It's the philosophical equivalent of a toddler who's just discovered the word why, and it's been surprisingly effective at challenging assumptions, sparking critical thinking, and generally making people feel uncomfortable for centuries.
So there you have it, 7 ideas that took our world, shook it vigorously and left it a little bit different than how they found it. From the internet to democracy, the theory of relativity to the Socratic method, these ideas continue to shape our lives in ways both big and small, profound and utterly ridiculous. Who knows what groundbreaking ideas are bubbling up right now, ready to turn our world upside down once again. Maybe it's something being developed in a lab, scribbled on a napkin, or debated in the comments section of a particularly heated cat video. Whatever it is, one thing's for sure. The future is waiting to be written, one crazy, world-changing idea at a time.